Some say the best teachers in life are the experiences that we go through. For Chance Ennis, starting early in the oil field equipped him with valuable lessons that guided him in building his own company.
2 days out of high school, I was climbing a derrick in the oil field. Started in a well service business on a workover rig. Moved into casing services about 19 years old, I think. What we do is after the initial well is drilled, we go out and make up the casing to line the well to protect the integrity of the well bore, clean the pipe, prep the casing. But I did that and I went over to a larger corporation at about 23. Immediately after, I decided that I didn't want to work for anybody else. I was kind of tired of hearing about doing things the same old way. And for the most part, employees weren't really being treated the way that they need to be treated. And I knew that there was some opportunity to advance the oil field and worked there for a couple years until starting Noble at 25. The big opportunity was just to take care of the people. And that's what we're all about, is focusing on the people, leading the industry and being the best. That's just the three pillars of the company. Right away, we were thinking long term. And the partner that I had, we planned on not taking any money out of the company, just reinvesting in the company for at least the first 10 years. Definitely had a plan, always go with the advice of hire people smarter than you, look for the best people. Really what I focused on in the beginning, I think that most people should do is trying to replace yourself. How do you find somebody that can replace you so you can go focus on something else? And one of the biggest misconceptions is people think they have to micromanage, and if you hire the right people, they run the business for you. You let them do their job and get out of the way. And so I try to work on the business, not in the business. And I think that's where our success came from early on.
And with Noble Casing's people-focused work ethic, it was only a matter of time until they created a workflow that ensured their advantage against all their competitors.
The fact that we are so vertically integrated that, one of our businesses touches to the next. And so we have a very unique packaging of services that really give us a competitive advantage, from the rail, unloading the casing, storing the casing, then we truck the casing to the location, we clean the casing, we make up the casing, run it down hole. Nobody else has those vertically integrated services, so it makes it, again, very economical for our customers. There's no standby or other charges where if one company's waiting on another, because we absorb that, being the one call for them. Regardless of the fact that we do the same service, we innovate new equipment. And again, as we're talking about, transitioning to different energy sources, we recently engineered an electric power unit versus a diesel power unit. So we brought first of its kind to the Rocky Mountains, just to kind of show that we can adapt and we can bring some different technologies in that nobody else has. So we had some exclusivity with that to get that rolled out. We built all the equipment employee focused. When I started out, we didn't have air conditioning, we didn't have nothing. These guys, we try to do the best to take care of them, keep them proud, put them in the best equipment, and again, show up, be proud of the brand for our customers and for ourselves.
From Chance's perspective, the most important one is obviously focus on the people. He takes care of his people. He never quits. He doesn't accept mediocrity. Like, we are going to be the best, and we're not just going to be the best in the industry, we're going to be the best we can be. And he's created such a family environment here. I've never worked at a place where the guys that work together work so close together, love each other, and it's just every day. That's why we come to work, is to spend time with these guys. I met Chance in April of 2019. My wife and I went for a ride with him. On the way back to Fairbanks, I actually told my wife that I was going to work for Chance one day. Just his passion, drive, his love of his people, his team, his family. He's just an all-around great guy, and he can't hide it. The passion is there all the time.
And now that Chance has built a company that provides the greatest value to their customers by giving only the best training to all his employees, he has only one insight to share to all aspiring entrepreneurs.
You really want to find something that you're passionate about or you have interest in. Although I do think, that's a big misconception, is that you have to love what you're doing, and you don't. A lot of times you just put in the work and you grind and it comes, until you get better at something. It's like starting something, and the first time you do it, you hate it because you feel dumb, you don't know what you're doing, And so a lot of times you have to work through that. You have to work through the problems to really be good at what you're doing and really find a deep attachment and passion to it. And I think a lot of people at the first sign of adversity use that as a reason to give up. And those are the opportunities that you have to push through. That's how you really become the best at what you do. You got to go with your gut, and you got to you got to stay the course. For us, there's no ceiling. We plan to go to South America, for anywhere. But over the next few years, try to 10x the business, have big growth plans to take us to the next level. But again, really, whatever God lets us do.